Mitsubishi. My name is Nathan and today we're doing a walk around video on this really cool 2018 M119 Golf GTI. Now if you know much about these cars, you know how great they are, how efficient they are, and how actually great they are for city driving and just general driving around the roads in Melbourne. They're very popular, Volkswagen being the largest automotive retailer in the world. Goes to show why these are really good cars. Now this particular model is a GTI, so it's slightly more specced out than your average Volkswagen Golf. So we'll run through some of the features and characteristics of this model. Now up on the front end, do note that it does have the color match front parking sensors. It is going to help to park the vehicle. It's not a large vehicle, but any kind of assistance you're going to have is going to help. In these headlights, you've got a very cool design in these headlights. You do notice that red streak that almost looks like eyes, and that streak actually goes through the front of the grille there, just again consistent with that GTI badging. Just breaks the car up a little, and you've got that beautiful Atlantic blue color. So it is just a very nice contrast and well designed by Volkswagen. Now the front end condition on this car is A1. There's no damage there whatsoever, no cracks, no marks. And I'm just going to check the bottom, because generally people will scratch the bottom of it, but no, not too bad. Has very light grazing, but nothing too major. Now coming across the side of the vehicle, got this beautiful Volkswagen rims. Now they always have quite a unique design on them. So if you do note, the spokes are very uniquely shaped, do have the gunmetal finish of the black on the inside and the polished aluminium on the outside, and sitting behind that is those GTI, the red GTI brakes. Now being a GTI, it is a little bit quicker, so you're going to want to make sure you have that stopping power as well. It's all good and fun when you're going quick, but you want to make sure you can stop when you need to. Now the rims are in excellent condition. There is a very minor mark there, probably just a scratch, but nothing too serious, nothing to be too concerned about. Another one that might be just some glue or some light scuffing there, but again, rim is in pretty good condition, and they are sitting on Pirelli tires, so not cheap tires. Good to see that they have been looked after quite carefully. Now coming across the side of the vehicle, GTI badging on the side there, again just breaks it up, adds a bit of character to the vehicle, and the side mirrors and door handles again are color matched in that Atlantic blue color, blends in very beautifully, gives it that sleek, elegant look, and the head indicator lamps are fitted into that side mirror just to elevate the lamp and improve the visibility. Now opening up the driver's side door, if you do note, these doors actually open quite wide, very easy to access and get inside the vehicle. These are the leather GTI seats, so they are like a bucket seat kind of setup. They're not very firm, meaning they're not actually very hard seats. They're quite soft, but they do have a beautiful shape that is going to hold you and tuck you in, especially when you're taking those sharp corners and turns. Now the red stitching and the red design all through the seats and the vehicle is to stay inconsistent with the GTI badging and the GTI logo. They are electric seat controls, so you have 3 different presets and all your electric seat adjusters with your lumbar support and knee support as well. Carpet mats are fitted in the vehicle, and you've got that really nice scuff blade again just to keep the paintwork nice and clean, and door card again presents in excellent condition. It's just a very good example of a nicely looked after Golf GTI. Now if I can open up the back doors just so you can have a look inside the space for the passengers that sit in the back. Again, these seats are in excellent condition, no damage, no stains, no marks, no cracks. So it's good to see that the seats have been looked after previously, because you don't want bad seats, because that can always taint a beautiful car like this. Fuel filler cap is on the driver's side, that's just going to pop open when you click it. It will also stay locked when you actually lock the vehicle, so you don't need to worry about that. Second rim, again, excellent condition, no damage on that rim whatsoever, and you've got those red brakes just popping out behind the actual rim. Coming across the side, again, parking sensors along the back of the vehicle, and you do get 6 parking sensors on the side of the car and the back just to improve the protection, and those dual exhaust tips you can see stand out amazingly. These go very nice with some heat-treated exhaust if you want the car to sound pretty good. But that's up to you and what your preference is. Up top, there is a small roof spoiler with the reverse, with the high-mounted brake light, and you do have a reverse wiper and washer. Now, this car does actually come with a reverse camera. Like most of the Volkswagens, the camera is actually located in this logo here, so that's just going to pop in and the camera will show itself from under there. It tucks it away, keeps the back of the vehicle nice and neat, and you do know it doesn't have any latches or handles, so you can open that using the remote. Apologies for the slight technical error, but just looking at the back of the vehicle again, very neatly designed, very sleek look as well, and like I said, it's all hidden. Reverse camera is actually mounted under the symbol, but you can also use this latch to open the boot. So pressing it in is going to release the boot, and you can open it up like so. Golf cargo liner fitted in the back, so it is a genuine cargo liner. You can see it's cut to the shape of the vehicle. this is going to keep your boot nice and safe. I always recommend these kinds of things, especially if you're someone who travels or transports things generally. It's good to have. And just under there is your Space Saver spare wheel. So it's not a full size, just a Space Saver, just to get you to where you need to go. And all your jacking tools are also located under there. And if you do notice, there are also car seat tether points located on the side, back of those seats. So if you have a little baby with you, that is going to be handy to have. Closing this up, just having a look at the condition though. Tailgate, again, no marks, no damage, very well presented vehicle. Quite a nice color. It is a very unique blue color. I don't know how well the camera can capture it, but very nice design. And this third rim, generally this is the side with the most damage, so do note there is a little bit of gutter rash there. Nothing too major. Again, down here as well, slight knocks here and there, but the general face of the rim itself is in good condition. And panning across the passenger side, again, no marks, no scratches, no damage. And the fourth and final rim does seem to have a little bit more marks. It is quite superficial. It's nothing dented, but it does have a little bit of gutter rash here and there. It is generally what you'd expect in used vehicles, but you've got a beautiful Atlantic blue Golf GTI. You've got all the red accents just to make it stand out and pop. 6 parking sensors on the front and the back with that reverse camera and those big brakes. Just a beautiful car sitting on some nice tires. So what we're going to do is pop the hood and take a look inside. Look inside the engine bay of the Golf. Now these are pretty notorious for having lots of cables and all these kinds of things running around the engine bay, because Golfs are known to be quite a sophisticated vehicle with a lot of electronics, so there might be a few little things in here which you're not quite familiar with, but other than that, these cars are very nicely designed. These motors are great motors. Just on the left side here, a few key components in the vehicle. This is your coolant reservoir, so make sure this has enough coolant in there. You can see it does have enough for the moment, but make sure you're checking these things as you own this vehicle. Over here is your washer and wiper fluid, so make sure that's all topped up. Battery terminals right there, so positive and negative. And over there is your fuse box. So if something, for whatever reason, is not working in the vehicle, check that first, just to make sure everything is running smoothly. Now what we have here is a 4-cylinder 2-liter turbo petrol motor. This car does come with a 7-speed automatic gearbox, or DSG, which are going to give you very, very direct shifts and very responsive shifts as well. Now this car has a 5-star ANCAP rating with 7 airbags, so again, lots of safety for the passengers in the vehicle. This motor produces a phenomenal 180 kilowatts with 370 newton meters of torque. So again, lots of torque and power for this little 4-cylinder. This car runs on your premium petrol, so it does have a 50-liter capacity fuel tank, and it does recommend 95, but I would probably recommend 98, depends on what your preference is. And this has a combined fuel consumption of 6.5 liters per 100, or an average fuel distance of 769 kilometers off a full tank. And having a look inside the GTI now, I got to say, this is a very nicely laid out vehicle. It is a little bit different to your other Golfs, but I quite like it. Lot less buttons, but more sophisticated look. So driver's side door does get your full automatic windows both up and down, so do your back passenger seats. So full automatic windows in the vehicle, and behind that is your window lock control. Now, up here is the central locking controls and your little side mirror toggles. Now this has a demister setting for your side mirrors, so obviously Volkswagens are a European brand. It gets quite cold there, so it's good to have these side mirror demisters. It's going to help, especially on those cold mornings. Now if I flip that to that little option there, as you can see, it's going to fold your side mirrors in for you, especially if you park on the side of the road, but when you lock the vehicle, it'll do that. But putting it up the top here is going to open it up as well, and you can control it using that little dial. Now next to that is your headlight controls. Again, these have an automatic headlight system, so just leave it in this auto mode here, and the car's going to sense when it needs to turn them on. Now, like all Euros, on the right hand side is your wipers and washers, so that's going to pretty much flicking it is just going to turn it on once, but if you're depending on what kind of speed you want it at, you can adjust this accordingly. I'm just going to keep it, there you go. So pushing it up will adjust it accordingly. And on the left hand side are your indicators, as well as your high beam and fog lamp controls as well. Now coming over to the dash, I got to say, it is a full digital dash and it looks phenomenal. It's got your RPM on the left and your speedometer on the right. I don't know if you can see it, there you go, drop this. So up here you can see we're currently in park, so it displays the gear that we're in. It shows your RPM, and it's a very nice responsive dial. Below that is your temperature. Right hand side shows your fuel and your speed. Now car is notifying me that the car does need to be refueled, so it's opened up a little display that is say that it needs fuel. fuel gauge is down the bottom there, and it also opened up the maps to say, do you want me to show you where the closest petrol station is? So it is actually very smart little car. It's built pretty much for comfort, and it is great for any person that lives in Melbourne really, because it is a very efficient vehicle and it gives the driver a lot of information. On the right hand, just behind the steering wheel as well, there are two little paddle shifts, but I'll come to that in a minute. On the right hand side is a display. Now this is going to be for the display in your head unit there. So moving this around, you've got a lap timer if you do things like that. Fuel range, assist system, so that's going to be your lane keeping, your blind spot warning systems, and it opens up your navigation in there, so you don't have to really take your eyes off what's in front of you, and it's actually going to shrink your speedo as well. So I actually really like this design. It is a beautiful car. And then you've got your audio, which is your standard AM FM radio, Bluetooth connectivity, and mobile connection, depending on pretty much what you use. But next, options for your music, up and down to select what's in there, and you've got the OK button in the middle obviously, and view for the different displays, and you can actually open up some gauges and stuff as well in the car. Very, very cool system. You can see that it'll actually change the layout. So very customizable head unit dash cluster there. On the left hand side is your cruise control settings with your adaptive cruise control mode right in the middle, and also your volume below that. Now coming over to the entertainment system, very, very nice sleek touchscreen, blends in beautifully to the actual head unit. Nothing's protruding or standing out, and you've got this glass cover over it that is incredibly responsive, as you can see. So menu, opening up the radio, you got AM FM radio, Bluetooth connectivity. Media is going to be your Bluetooth connectivity, and navigation and traffic, which is just going to give you some traffic report and information once it's all connected up. Telephone, vehicle is obviously vehicle information, so whether you're doing laps or whatever it might be, and app connect is for your mobile connect, and you can actually store images and things like that on here. So actually fully functioning head unit, and you can control all your air conditioning settings through that as well. Beautiful cars. And like I said, very, very responsive system, quite nice to actually use. Now below that is your climate control. Driver and passenger have their own settings, so you have dual zone climate control, and you've also got heated seats in this model for both driver and passenger. Below that, nice DSG gearbox. Now if I bring that into reverse, you'll see that reverse camera quite clearly, and on the left hand side is going to be the sonar for your parking sensors, but reverse camera, which is mounted in that little latch like I pointed out before. If I bring this down into drive and actually flick it to the left, that's going to engage the sports shift system. So what that will do is allow me to use these paddles behind here, or the actual gear shifter if I wanted a bit more additional control over the vehicle. Now these have a DSG, direct shift gears, so very, very responsive. So using these paddles are going to be quite handy, and pulling it down once more is going to engage sports mode. Now that's going to make the car a little bit more responsive for you. As you can see, it's up the revs a bit, and pressing it back down will put you back into drive. Otherwise, just leave it in normal drive mode. Car's going to do everything for you. Engine stop start button is located right here. This is for your automatic park assist, and also your parking sensors. You can turn your sensors off if they get a bit annoying. Driving mode is going to be for eco, comfort, normal, sports, and individual, which is a bit more customizable. I'm going to leave it in comfort. And next side you have auto off. Now that is when the vehicle will turn off if you stopped at the lights, just to save you a bit of fuel, and your stability control or traction control. Now this car comes in electric park brake, so it's a lot neater than your traditional normal handbrake, but very easy to use. Pulling it up and down is going to turn it on and off. Auto hold feature, two little storage compartment, good to keep the keys in there. A little 12-volt socket, not a cigarette lighter, and you've also got two cup holders, which will pretty much hide away pretty neatly if you want to hide something in there. Now there's a leather stitch center console armrest. If I lift that up, good storage amount in the bottom there, so depending on what you want to store in the vehicle. Two vents at the back, and I'll just get the camera person to pan around because I've got to say, this is a very nice car. The red stitching and the red design all the way through the vehicle makes it stand out just a little bit more, gives it that little attention to detail, but breaks it out from just your ordinary black leather, and gives it something nice to look at. And you feel different actually sitting in the vehicle. You feel like you're in something sporty, you're classy, and you're not really compromising on any of the features which a sports vehicle might get, such as your heated seats and things like that. So very nice design, beautiful car. And up top, got that beautiful sunroof, this will hide away under this kind of shade, so you're not actually going to be blinded. It's not a full cover, so you're still getting some light in, which is nice. It is tinted, so you're not going to be pretty much exposed to anything severe. Now the side mirrors, the side windows are not tinted, so I would highly recommend you tint these windows because it's going to add a lot of protection, but I'll talk to you about that in a minute. And they do also come with an upgraded audio system in the vehicle as well. So guys, it's a beautiful car. So what we're going to do is jump outside and wrap up the video. So much for watching the walk around video on this 2018 MY19 Golf GTI in this beautiful Atlantic blue color. Now, hope this video gave you a good representation as to the condition of the vehicle, as well as the copious amount of features that does come in. I haven't touched on or covered all the features that this car comes with, but it is well designed, beautiful car, and a good example of a well-maintained vehicle as well. Now, if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 99070555. Just before I go, this car does actually qualify for our premium mechanical protection plan. Now, what that will offer you is 5 years additional protection on 181 electrical and mechanical components of this vehicle. It does also come with the added benefit of 10 years platinum roadside assistance nationwide. So if you plan on keeping this car for a little while, you do a bit of driving, there is great value in this service, so make sure you speak to us about this. In addition to that, please do take advantage of the glass coat and tint. As I said, you're going to want to get your windows tinted, but what we offer is a glass coat package, which is a protectant layer that actually goes over the paint of this vehicle. It's going to give you a lifetime warranty on this beautiful blue paintwork. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to clean and maintain, and it's going to protect it from all the harsh environmental factors that will contaminate and damage your paint, such as bird droppings, bat droppings, oxidization, fading, peeling, all these things that can really deter a beautiful car like this from looking this great. Now, this comes with a lifetime warranty, so make sure you ask us about this. These two things are at an additional cost. However, if you're using our in-house finance, we'd love to introduce you to our business managers, Julie and Mario, who show just some minimal these will affect your repayments. Now lastly, but most importantly, make sure you jump on a Google, search up Berwick Mitsubishi and see what people have to say about us. With over 1,100 reviews and sitting at 4.8 stars, gives you the assurance as a buyer that you're dealing with the right people and the right kind of business for a good quality vehicle. Now, as I mentioned before, if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 99070555. My name is Nathan. Thank you so much for watching.